Dear Chosen One, there is a war happening right now, and you have already won it. While governments spend billions on propaganda, surveillance, and control systems, you are fighting a battle on a field they cannot even access. The field of immutable spiritual truth. They can control laws, media, and institutions, but they cannot legislate your divine connection. And it is precisely this powerlessness that is causing their collapse. You are not watching a political shift. You are the catalyst of a dimensional breakdown. Every day, systems of control try harder to keep you compliant, fearful, and small. They flood your screens with chaos, your mind with doubt, and your heart with anxiety. But something inside you refuses to bow. Something ancient and unshakable knows that you were never meant to live in their prison. That knowing is not rebellion. It is remembrance. And that remembrance is more dangerous to corrupt governments than any revolution ever waged. Because when you remember who you truly are, their entire illusion crumbles. This is not about politics or parties. This is about frequency. This is about the spiritual war between truth and illusion, between divine sovereignty and manufactured dependence. And here is what they will never tell you. You already won. The moment you woke up and refused to vibrate in fear, the moment you chose consciousness over conformity, you removed an energetic brick from their pyramid of control. Governments are not falling because of scandals or elections. They are falling because enough chosen ones have withdrawn their consent. Before we delve deeper into this revelation, click the like button, subscribe to this channel, and in the comments, type the word sovereign to seal this moment and declare your spiritual independence to the universe. Also, if you are ready to activate true prosperity, not just financial, but also spiritual, check out the ebook, The Call to Prosperity. 10 guided lessons to help you unlock the peace, clarity, and financial abundance that were always meant to be yours. The link is in the description and in the first pinned comment. Take this step today and let your life become the testimony of God's prosperity. Chosen One, let me take you back to the beginning of this silent war. You were born into a world that had already decided who you should be. Before you could even speak, they told you what to believe, what to fear, what to worship, and what to obey. The education system trained you to memorize, not to think. The media trained you to react, not to question. The government trained you to depend, not to create. And for years, maybe decades, it worked. You fit into their boxes, followed their rules, and believed their narratives. But then something shifted. Maybe it was a tragedy that broke you open. Maybe it was a moment of silence where you heard a voice that was not theirs. Maybe it was a dream, a vision, or a sudden knowing that everything you were told was a lie. Whatever it was, you began to wake up. And the moment you did, you became a threat. Not because you are violent or dangerous, but because you are untouchable. You stepped out of their frequency, and they lost access to you. This is what they fear most. Not armies, not protests, not even revolutions. They fear the individual who can no longer be manipulated. They fear the soul who has reconnected with Source and no longer needs their validation, their permission, or their protection. Because once you realize you do not need them, their entire power structure collapses. Governments do not rule by force alone. They rule by belief. And you stopped believing. Now, let us talk about how deep this control system really goes. It is not just about taxes and laws, it is about frequency management. Every institution you were taught to trust was designed to keep you vibrating at a specific level: fear, lack, and survival. The news cycle keeps you in fear. The economic system keeps you in lack. The The social structure keeps you in survival mode, working endlessly just to stay afloat. This is not accidental. This is engineered. They studied how to keep human consciousness locked in lower vibrations because they know something you are just now remembering. When you vibrate higher, you become ungovernable. When you live in love instead of fear, in abundance instead of lack, in purpose instead of survival, you exit the matrix of control. You stop being a battery for their system. You stop feeding the machine. And without your energy, the machine dies. This is why they attack spirituality so aggressively. This is why they mock meditation, prayer, and inner work. This is why they push materialism, distraction, and division. Because the moment you go inward and connect with the divine, you find a power source they cannot tax, regulate, or control. You find a truth they cannot spin. You find a peace they cannot disturb. And that terrifies them. Think about how much money they spend trying to keep you distracted. Billions on entertainment that numbs your mind. Billions on substances that dull your awareness. Billions on technology that fragments your attention. Why? Because a focused, awakened, spiritually connected human being is their worst nightmare. You cannot be bought. You cannot be fooled. You cannot be controlled. And when enough of you wake up, their game is over. But here is where it gets even more profound. You are not just waking up randomly. This is orchestrated by something far greater than you or me. There is a divine timing to your awakening. The Bible speaks of it in Daniel 12:10. Many shall be purified, and made white, and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. You are the wise. You are the ones who understand, and your understanding is collapsing their kingdom of lies. Every chosen one who wakes up creates a ripple in the collective consciousness. You think you are just one person, living quietly, trying to figure out your purpose. But spiritually, you are a nuclear event. Your frequency shift affects everyone around you, whether they realize it or not. Your refusal to participate in fear-based narratives weakens the entire grid of control. Your commitment to truth creates cracks in the foundation of deception. And they know this. This is why you have felt the attacks intensify. This is why your life became harder the moment you started waking up. This is why relationships fell apart, jobs disappeared, and chaos seemed to surround you. It was not punishment. It was the system trying to pull you back in. It was the matrix recognizing that you were escaping and doing everything possible to make you doubt yourself, to make you think you were crazy, to make you believe you were alone. But you are not alone. There is an army of chosen ones waking up simultaneously across this planet. You may not see them on the news or social media, but they are there. They are the ones who stopped watching mainstream media. They are the ones who started questioning authority. They are the ones who chose inner peace over external chaos. And together, without even coordinating, you are dismantling a control system that has ruled for centuries. This is the rebellion they never saw coming. Not violent, not organized, not political. A spiritual rebellion, a frequency rebellion, a rebellion of consciousness. And there is no weapon they have that can stop it. They can censor your voice, but they cannot censor your vibration. They can ban your content, but they cannot ban your light. They can attack your reputation, but they cannot touch your soul. Here is what you need to understand. The war is already won in the spiritual realm. What you are witnessing now is just the physical manifestation catching up to spiritual reality. In the unseen, the verdict has already been delivered. The systems of Babylon are marked for collapse. The kingdom of lies is sentenced to extinction. And you, chosen one, are here to witness it and anchor the new frequency. This is why you must stand firm. This is why you cannot give up now. This is why every attack, every obstacle, every moment of doubt is actually confirmation that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. The enemy does not waste ammunition on irrelevant targets. If you are under fire, it is because you are over the target. If they are trying to silence you, it is because your voice carries power. If they are trying to break you, it is because you are unbreakable. You were chosen before you were born. This is not metaphor or motivation. This is spiritual fact. Jeremiah 1:5 declares, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." You were set apart for this exact moment in history. You were designed to withstand what is coming. You were encoded with divine DNA that activates during times of spiritual warfare. And right now, that DNA is fully online. Every hardship you endured was preparation. Every betrayal was training. Every dark night was initiation into your true power and purpose. The government system, as you know it, was never meant to last forever. It was always a temporary structure, held together by collective agreement and mass hypnosis. But agreements can be broken, and hypnosis can be shattered. What you are witnessing is the Great Awakening, the moment when enough souls remember their true nature and withdraw their energy from the illusion. Without your participation, without your fear, without your compliance, the entire system loses power. It is like a parasite that cannot survive without a host. You stopped being the host, and now it is dying. Let me show you how this works energetically. Every time you choose love over fear, you emit a frequency that disrupts their control grid. Every time you choose truth over comfort, you send out a signal that awakens others. Every time you choose faith over doubt, you anchor divine light into this dimension. You are not just living your life. You are broadcasting a frequency that reprograms reality itself. This is not symbolic. This is quantum physics meeting spiritual law. Your consciousness literally shapes the world around you, and they know it. This is why they work so hard to keep you in lower states. Angry people are predictable. Fearful people are controllable. Distracted people are harmless. But a peaceful, awakened, spiritually grounded person? That is a revolutionary. That is someone who cannot be bought, manipulated, or intimidated. That is someone who operates from a power source beyond this world. And when you operate from that place, you become unstoppable. Governments can pass 1,000 laws, but they cannot legislate against your divine nature and your sovereign connection to Source. Now I want you to think about something. How many times have you felt attacked for no logical reason? How many times did opportunities disappear right when you were about to break through? How many times did people turn against you just as you started stepping into your purpose? You thought it was bad luck or coincidence, but it was spiritual warfare. It was the system recognizing you as a threat and deploying every weapon to neutralize you. The attacks were not random, they were targeted, and they were proof of your importance. But here is the beautiful irony. Every attack they launched against you only made you stronger. Every attempt to break you only revealed your unbreakable nature. Every effort to silence you only amplified your message. They played themselves. By trying to destroy you, they activated you. By pushing you into the fire, they forged you into a weapon they cannot defeat. You are the result of their own failed warfare. You are their greatest mistake. And now you are awake, aware, and absolutely unstoppable. Scripture tells us in Romans 8:31, If God is for us, who can be against us? Let that sink in. The creator of the universe, the author of existence, the source of all power, that force is on your side. Every government, every institution, every corrupt system combined does not have a fraction of the power that backs you. They are fighting with temporary weapons against eternal truth. They are using fear tactics against someone protected by divine love. This is not a fair fight. It never was. And the most powerful part? You do not even have to fight back in the way they expect. You do not need to protest, riot, or take up arms. Your weapon is your frequency. Your warfare is spiritual. Your revolution is consciousness. All you have to do is stay anchored in truth, remain connected to Source, and refuse to lower your vibration to match their chaos. That alone is enough to bring down empires. That alone is enough to end their reign. Your peace is their destruction. Think about the last few years of your life. How much has changed? How much have you grown? How many illusions have you shed? You are not the same person who started this journey. You have been refined, purified, and transformed. The old you could not have handled what is coming. The old you would have broken under this pressure. But the new you, the awakened you, is built for this exact moment. You were forged in fire so you could walk through flames without burning. There is a reason you feel different from everyone around you. There is a reason you cannot relate to surface-level conversations anymore. There is a reason you see through lies that others still believe. You are operating on a different frequency now. You have been upgraded spiritually. Your perception has been sharpened. Your discernment has been heightened. You can sense energy, read intentions, and see through masks. This is not arrogance. This is activation. You have abilities now that you did not have before. The government fears this more than anything. They can handle physical opposition. They have weapons for that. But they cannot handle spiritual awakening. They have no defense against consciousness. How do you fight someone who has found inner peace? How do you control someone who no longer fears death? How do you manipulate someone who sees through every lie? You cannot. And that is why they are scrambling. That is why their tactics are becoming more desperate. They are losing, and they know it. Let me tell you what is happening behind the scenes. Right now, at the highest levels of power, there is panic. They are watching their control slip away in real time. They are seeing the awakening spread faster than they can contain it. They are witnessing their carefully constructed narratives crumble under the weight of truth. And they are realizing that no amount of money, force, or propaganda can stop what has been set in motion. The veil is lifting, and once people see the truth, they cannot unsee it. This is the moment prophesied for thousands of years. This is the great separation, the wheat from the chaff, the light from the darkness, the truth seekers from the comfort seekers. And you, chosen one, are on the right side of history. You are part of the remnant that refused to bow. You are part of the generation that said, "Enough," and meant it. Future generations will speak of this time, and they will speak of people like you who stood firm when the whole world was shaking and falling apart. But understand this, the coming months and years will test you like never before. The system will not go quietly. It will thrash and fight and try to take as many souls down with it as possible. There will be chaos, confusion, and fear on levels you have never seen. This is the death throes of a dying beast. And in those moments, you must remember what you know. You must remember who you are. You must remember that you have already won, and what you are seeing is just the delayed physical manifestation of spiritual victory. When the storm hits, do not panic. The storm is proof that light has entered the field. Darkness always thrashes before it dies. Remember Jesus asleep on the boat during the storm? The disciples panicked, but he did not. Why? Because peace was his weapon. You must do the same. Stay calm. Be still. Hold your light. The wind may roar, the systems may shake, but inside you there is a kingdom that cannot be moved, a peace that cannot be stolen, and a power that cannot be defeated. The more they push fear, the more you must push faith. The more they broadcast division, the more you must broadcast unity. Everything is inverted now. They want chaos. You bring order. They want despair. You bring hope. They want confusion. You bring clarity. This is what it means to be light in darkness. It is not about shouting louder. It is about shining stronger. The darkness does not argue with the light. It simply disappears when the light arrives. You are that light now, blazing and eternal. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out. You are not here to be accepted by the dying system. You are here to outlast it. Stop trying to convince the sleepers. Stop seeking approval from the blind. Focus on the ones who can see. Feed those who are hungry for truth. Guide those who are ready to rise. The rest will follow in their time. The shepherd does not chase every sheep. He stays steady, and the flock returns to his voice. You must become that steady voice now. Do you feel the energy shifting? That trembling sensation in your spirit is not fear, it is transformation. The old frequency is leaving your body. The heaviness, the confusion, the fatigue, it is all residue from the matrix unraveling. You are being recalibrated for the new reality. Your body is catching up to your spirit. Drink water. Breathe deeply. Rest when needed. Allow the process. The caterpillar does not fight the cocoon. It surrenders and becomes something beyond its imagination. The deception of this age was never about information. It was about vibration. They convinced you that facts matter more than frequency. But truth is not just data. It is resonance. That is why lies can sound logical, but still feel wrong. Your discernment is your compass now. If something disrupts your peace, it is not from the light. If something feeds your fear, it is not divine. You are no longer guided by headlines or talking points. You are guided by your spirit. The days of blind obedience are over. The age of divine sovereignty has begun. The world's systems are collapsing because they were built on corruption and fear. We are witnessing the great unmasking. Every hidden thing is coming to light. Every secret agenda is being exposed. The energy of truth is relentless. It searches every shadow, every government, every institution. And when it finds deception, it burns it away. That is what you are feeling now, the fire of revelation spreading across the earth. Chosen one, do not hide your power anymore. The world needs it. The heavens are counting on it. Every time you speak truth, the vibration of this planet rises. Every time you forgive instead of hate, the collective frequency shifts upward. Every time you choose love under pressure, angels record it as victory. You are not small. You are not lost. You are not random. You are the answer to prayers whispered for generations. The rebellion happening now is the rebirth of divine order through you. This is how empires end, not with explosions, but with awakenings. Not with armies, but with remembrance. Not with destruction, but with transformation. Rome fell when belief in its gods collapsed. Babylon fell when light returned to the temple. These governments will fall when enough of you remember who you are. That is the prophecy being fulfilled. The chosen are returning to their posts, remembering their oaths, stepping into purpose. You are witnessing the fulfillment of divine timing. Do not underestimate the magnitude of this hour. Every choice you make carries weight. Every thought ripples through the collective. You are rewriting realities with your perception. Yes, you. That is how much power heaven entrusted to humanity. Most do not realize it yet, but soon everyone will. They will see cause and effect on the spiritual level. They will understand that consciousness is the true currency. And then, the false economy of fear will collapse completely. The foundation of control was always dependency. They made you believe you need their systems to live. But abundance was never meant to come from governments. It comes from alignment with divine law. Seek first the kingdom, and all else will align. The more you detach from dependency, the freer you become. That is why I tell you to download the manual, The Call to Prosperity. It teaches you how to activate your divine supply and live in flow, not fear. The link is in the description. There will be tremors ahead, financial, political, emotional. But do not mistake them for endings. They are beginnings. The old must crumble, so the new can rise. The tower must fall before the temple can stand. This is prophecy unfolding, not chaos. You were prepared for this. You were chosen to walk through the ashes with faith, to carry light through the ruins, to hold peace when others lose hope. Fear nothing. The author of creation walks with you, and his plan never fails, never changes. Remember Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. That verse was not poetry. It was an instruction. You are the living proof that divine consciousness exists on earth. That is why darkness fears you. That is why obstacles rise around you. But the higher you climb, the brighter you shine. The city on the hill was never built to hide. It was built to guide. Keep climbing, keep shining, keep speaking truth, even when your voice trembles. Heaven records it all. They will call you conspiracy, extremist, dreamer. But none of those labels mean anything now. They are the language of a dying world trying to interpret light through darkness. Ignore their noise. Keep your focus on purpose. Keep your heart anchored in faith. You were never meant to explain truth to those who refuse to hear it. You were meant to live it out until they have no choice but to notice. This is not arrogance. This is divine assignment taking form in human experience. And when doubt creeps in, remember every moment where grace carried you. You are still here because the mission is not finished. Every tear, every trial, every loss was not punishment, but positioning. You were being aligned, refined, and empowered. The pain was the forge. The waiting was the test. The breakthrough is now. You are moving from survival to sovereignty, from fear to faith, from questioning to declaring. The rebellion is happening through you, and there is no turning back now. Soon, the veil between dimensions will thin completely. What was once hidden will stand in full view. The lies of ages will collapse under evidence that cannot be denied. Many will panic, but you must not. You have already seen beyond illusion. You will be the calm in the chaos, the anchor in the storm. When others cry, you will comfort. When others doubt, you will declare. The light within you will direct those who stumble through the ruins of a fading world's deception. Every fallen empire carries one final illusion. It believes it can silence truth, by mocking those who speak it. But the mockery is fuel for awakening. Every insult hurled at the chosen ones only draws more attention to the message. Light multiplies under pressure. The ridicule of the righteous becomes the trumpet that wakes the sleepers. Do not be discouraged when your message is attacked. It means your vibration has pierced their armor. It means the system feels the quake of its fall beginning. You will notice how everything artificial begins to feel unbearable. Forced smiles, fake conversations, manipulative institutions, all of it will ring hollow. That is because you now vibrate at truth's frequency. Pretending costs energy you no longer have. Let go of performance. Let go of needing to fit. Authenticity is your new armor. Transparency is your new strength. The system trained you to hide. Heaven commands you to shine. Truth will protect you more than any disguise could. The storms are not sent to break you, but to reveal you. Pressure exposes the core. Fire proves gold. You asked for purpose. Now you stand in it. You asked for miracles. Now you are one. Everything you survived forged the authority you now carry. The world does not need perfect people. It needs refined ones. People who have faced darkness and still chosen light. You are not broken. You are tempered. You are not lost. You are laser-focused by destiny's own hand. If you listen closely, you can already hear their system cracking. The voices of power contradict themselves. The trusted faces lose credibility. The propaganda fails to hypnotize. They scramble to rewrite rules, but truth spreads faster than legislation. Babylon is crumbling not because it was attacked, but because it was exposed. Exposure is the final stage before extinction. The hidden rot is visible now, and collective awareness is the sunlight ending centuries of deceit. This is what prophets saw ages ago. They wrote of kings trembling, of towers falling, of great powers brought low. None of that imagery was random. It was code for system collapse triggered by spiritual awakening. You are living the fulfillment of those ancient words. Each revelation, each disclosure, each truth bomb is another trumpet sounding. Do not fear the destruction unfolding. Rejoice that the false order is ending. What comes next will be built on eternal truth, not manipulation. When truth begins to reign, darkness evacuates violently. Expect drama, expect noise. But amid the noise, remember stillness is strategy. Fear feeds chaos, peace disarms it. Speak less, pray more, react less, discern deeper. The world will shout 1,000 conflicting headlines, but one whisper of divine guidance outweighs them all. Tune your ears to that whisper. It will lead you through fire unharmed. It will instruct you where to stand when old kingdoms fall completely. You have crossed the threshold of no return. The old you cannot survive in this frequency. Guilt, shame, self-doubt, they cannot breathe here. Release them. You are not who the system said you were. You are who heaven says you are. A royal priesthood, a holy nation, a carrier of divine code designed to rebuild reality after the fall. Every step you take now emits instructions to the universe. Rebuild in alignment with truth. Rebuild in honor of light. Rebuild under divine law. Do not underestimate the power of a single awakened being. 10,000 still asleep do not equal one awakened soul. Because one aligned consciousness generates more energy than entire nations operating in fear. This is why you matter beyond comprehension. You may feel invisible, but the spiritual world sees your influence clearly. Each prayer, each breath of faith, each act of love disrupts centuries of programming. You are the prophecy walking in human form, the algorithm of freedom. The new structure forming will look different. It will not rely on politics, but on principles. It will not serve control, but connection. Communities will rise, built on trust instead of contracts, on truth instead of marketing. The false icons will fall away. Authentic voices will take their place. Creation itself is recalibrating. The earth rejoices. Frequency by frequency, consciousness by consciousness, heaven is integrating into matter. The kingdom within is becoming the kingdom without. Do not rush the process. It is written in perfect timing. If progress feels slow, it is because divine order layers change carefully. Too fast, and the human mind breaks. Too slow, and hope fades. But heaven knows balance precisely. Follow its rhythm. The days of forced acceleration are over. Now, everything flows in cycles of rest and revelation. Trust timing more than prediction. Spiritual maturity means moving with divine rhythm, not racing against illusionary clocks of control. Chosen one. Remember, gratitude sustains miracles. The more grateful you are for freedom, the faster it multiplies. Thank the Creator for every sign of collapse, because it signals construction of the new. Thank the pain, because it revealed purpose. Thank the losses, because they cleared your path. Gratitude is spiritual warfare disguised as worship. It confuses every force of darkness because they cannot comprehend joy amid destruction. Keep thanking. Gratitude is the anthem of the truly awakened. Those still sleeping will resist awakening. They will defend the system that enslaved them, just as captives defend familiar chains. Do not hate them. Love them fiercely, but from boundaries of wisdom. Speak when led, not from ego. Every seed of truth you plant will bloom in its season. Forced awakening creates trauma. Patient love creates transformation. You are not here to prove superiority, but to offer invitation. You were delivered from illusion so you could become deliverance for others. Every spiritual giant once stood where you stand, between doubt and destiny. Moses doubted, Elijah fled, Peter denied, yet all fulfilled purpose. Heaven never selects perfection. It selects willingness. Your fear does not disqualify you. Your obedience overrides it. Even trembling faith moves mountains. Remember, divine strength is perfected in weakness. You are the vessel, not the source. The power flowing through you belongs to heaven, and that is why no human force can shut it down. Your voice carries frequency. Pay attention to every word you release. Words are codes that build or destroy. Kings rule with decrees, and you are a spiritual king. Do not waste speech on fear or complaint. Speak from alignment and command reality to obey divine design. When you say peace, chaos must still. When you declare light, darkness withdraws. This is authority, not arrogance. The awakened speak creation itself into correction, and heaven confirms what they proclaim in faith. Energy flows where attention goes. What you observe, you empower. The world is collapsing because collective awareness has turned its gaze toward truth. When billions withdraw belief from deception, illusion dies of starvation. Feed only what you want to grow. Focus on restoration, on goodness, on the rising kingdom. The media will try to drag you back into the pit of fear, but do not feed it your energy. You are no longer consumer. You are creator. Look higher, and the higher will manifest. Some will mock this faith as naive optimism. Let them. Faith has always looked foolish until it worked. Noah looked insane building an ark under blue skies. Yet when the flood came, faith was vindicated. You are building something unseen while the world laughs. Keep building. Every prayer, every act of compassion, every refusal to bow is another plank of that ark. When the flood of revelation comes, what you built in secret will save many souls from drowning in confusion. You may feel isolated now, but isolation is incubation. The caterpillar withdraws before transformation. The divine hides you before releasing you. Those silent seasons where you felt forgotten were preparation. Heaven was sharpening you. The storm you survived in private gave you authority to calm storms in others. That is why solitude hurts so deeply. It was gestation. You were being born again into purpose, refined alone so you could lead many without losing righteousness. The proof of divine presence is not the absence of conflict, but the clarity within it. When you walk through battle hearing divine peace, know you are aligned. Confusion comes when you lean on intellect instead of intuition. The Spirit already knows the path. Stop analyzing every detail and start trusting the voice inside that whispers direction. You are being guided in real time. The map was never meant to be read visually. It is coded in vibration. Follow peace, even when logic protests. Soon the noise will reach its peak. Every narrative will scream for your attention. That is when stillness becomes your shield. Silence is not surrender. It is strategy. Those who panic will obey the loudest voice. Those who rest will hear the right one. Heaven does not shout over chaos, it speaks beneath it. Train your spirit to tune into the undercurrent. Truth is never frantic. It moves with precision. When the world trembles, the chosen stand still, and standing still, they conquer storms unseen. Prophecy is not prediction. It is remembrance. What you call future is simply the divine timeline aligning with awareness. You are walking into what was finished long ago. Revelation 21:6 declares, "It is done." The new heaven and new earth are not coming. They are emerging through awakened consciousness. You are helping birth them. Every act of integrity forms new earth. Every lie rejected erases old earth residue. The apocalypse is not destruction, it is unveiling. You are the unveilment made flesh. Your ancestors dreamed of this generation. They prayed for descendants who would complete the liberation they began. Their voices echo in your bloodline. You carry their unfinished assignments, their songs, their courage encoded in spirit. When you stand firm, you redeem their battles. When you forgive, you heal their wounds. You are the answer to ancestral cries. That is why resistance feels ancient, because it is. But so is your authority. You inherited victory older than any empire's foundation. Do not fear signs in the heavens or shifts on earth. These are birth pangs, not omens of doom. Every quake, every storm, every disclosure mirrors spiritual contraction. The old world is laboring to release the new. Pain comes before delivery. And you, chosen one, are part of the midwives of light, holding space as consciousness emerges from centuries of darkness. Do not curse the pain. It announces promise. The greater the contraction, the greater the glory that follows its release upon earth. The false leaders will try to mimic awakening. They will sell enlightenment as product, turn truth into brand, and righteousness into marketing strategy. Discernment is your armor. Not every light shines from heaven. Some reflections are traps. Test every spirit by its fruit. Does it bring peace or pride, unity or division? The Creator's flow is gentle yet powerful. It does not coerce, it invites. Stay sharp, for even counterfeit stars glow before fading into shadow and revealing the true dawn beyond. Forgive yourself for the years you lived asleep. You did not fail. You obeyed the timing of awakening. The seed cannot rush spring. When knowledge arrived, regret tried to follow, whispering you wasted time. That is false guilt. Every detour was construction of character. Every mistake built humility. Without those experiences, your compassion would lack depth. Nothing was lost. Everything was redirected. You woke up exactly when heaven intended, and that precision of timing proves divine orchestration. Now comes expansion. The gifts dormant within you will activate rapidly. Dreams will intensify. Intuition will sharpen. Manifestations will accelerate. You may feel overwhelmed, but breathe. The energy surge is the Spirit equipping you for mission. Record your visions. Speak your insights. Share revelation with discernment. The world is starving for spiritual clarity and authenticity. You carry both. Do not shrink when the spotlight finds you. It is not fame, it is function being recognized publicly. You are about to witness miracles disguised as collapse. Financial systems will fail, but abundance will rise through community. Governments will fracture, but unity will grow among hearts. Technology built for control will become tools for freedom. The inversion is happening already. What the enemy built for bondage will be rerouted for liberation. You will see it soon. Remember Joseph. What was meant for evil became the infrastructure of redemption. The same pattern now unfolds on a global scale. When fear whispers that you cannot make a difference, remember even the smallest candle defeats entire rooms of darkness. You were never recruited to save everyone. You were called to shine where you stand. Collective victory is built from individual obedience. When one awakens, 1,000 follow. Never underestimate presence. Heaven multiplies small acts into global shifts. The kingdom expands quietly first, then suddenly in power. Keep shining. The rebellion ends in revelation, not disaster. Soon the evidence of victory will appear tangible. You will see positions overturned, secrets exposed, systems halted. But do not rejoice in downfall. Rejoice that truth reigns. Celebrate not the destruction, but the deliverance. The collapse you witness is mercy in disguise. Corruption cannot coexist with divine expansion. What crumbles was never built on truth. Let humility guard your triumph. Restoration follows revelation. Keep your spirit grounded as heaven reorders earthly authority. You will feel the pull between compassion and judgment. Choose compassion every time. Judgment imprisons the judge. Compassion liberates both healer and healed. You are not sent to punish darkness, but to replace it with light. When you meet those still trapped in ignorance, see them as versions of you before awakening. Your love will disarm their fear faster than arguments could. This is the higher warfare, transforming opposition into opportunity for grace's manifestation in humanity. Prophetic endurance is required now. This season demands warriors who pray instead of panic, who intercede instead of argue, who worship instead of worry. When fatigue hits, remember who strengthens you. Isaiah 40:31 says, "They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength." Waiting is not inactivity. It is alignment. You gather power in silence. You recharge through devotion. The longer you wait in divine presence, the higher you rise beyond reach of worldly interference and confusion. Do not measure success by applause or numbers. The kingdom measures by transformation. If one soul awakens because of your faith, heaven counts it as multitudes. Influence in this season will look quieter, but far deeper. Virality may fade. Vibration remains eternal. Impact is energetic, not algorithmic. Keep planting unseen seeds. The harvest that matters grows underground before appearing. Live for resonance, not recognition, and divine favor will surround everything your hands create purposefully. When despair visits, speak life into yourself audibly. Say, I am guided, I am protected, I am chosen for this generation. The words rewire your energy field instantly. Your anatomy listens to your declarations. The body obeys the voice of the Spirit. Even science mirrors Scripture. Vibration organizes matter. Keep speaking faith until alignment is restored. You are scientist and saint combined, experimenting with sound and spirit. With every decree of truth, you rewrite molecular reality back toward harmony. The final test will be subtle. It will not come as persecution, but as comfort. The temptation will be to rest prematurely, to believe the mission complete while the structure still reforms. Stay alert. The enemy of destiny is stagnation disguised as satisfaction. Keep listening. Keep growing. Spiritual rest is sacred only when paired with readiness. The marathon is not finished. You do not stop on the sixth trumpet when the seventh is near. Persevere, for the finish line births new beginnings. Remember to nurture your physical vessel. This awakening is not escape from matter. It is sanctification of it. Eat with intention, move with gratitude, rest in reverence. The divine does not despise the body. It chose to dwell in one. Treat your form as sacred technology, designed to translate spiritual frequency into physical creation. Every cell is an instrument tuned by consciousness. Play kindness through it daily. When your body thrives, your light amplifies naturally, broadcasting truth effortlessly through presence. As collapse accelerates, many will cling to false saviors promising restoration without repentance. Reject shortcuts. True transformation requires truth. There is no resurrection without crucifixion of ego. Beware of leaders selling redemption without responsibility. The real path is narrow yet radiant. It hurts because it heals. Choose it deliberately. What costs comfort births kingdom? Let integrity cost you something. What remains afterward is incorruptible faith forged by fire of divine verification, eternal. The chosen carry an invisible seal. Energetically, others feel it before you speak. Some will be drawn, others will avoid you without reason. Do not personalize reactions. Light reveals what it touches, and not everyone is ready for exposure. Still, walk proudly in purpose. You owe no apology for illumination. The sun does not dim for sleeping eyes. It rises anyway. Keep rising. Every dawn exists because darkness failed again. Every breath you take testifies that divine mission continues, unhindered profoundly. Your calling is not to escape the world, but to reform it by existing differently. Work with integrity, love radically, create intentionally. Every field needs awakened presence: schools, streets, systems, arts. You are distributed divine technology placed strategically. Wherever you stand becomes sacred ground. When awareness leads action, you are missionary of consciousness disguised as citizen. Represent heaven through excellence. Excellence is worship made visible through mastery, dedication, and unwavering spiritual alignment. When fear tells you the darkness is growing, remember shadows only stretch when light increases. Darkness has no independent power. It borrows shape from illumination. So when opposition rises, Interpret it as confirmation that radiance expands. You are not under attack. You are being mirrored so you can measure growth. The enemy screams only to distract from its demise. Smile through the noise. The louder deception shouts, the closer truth stands. Hold your focus firmly on divine certainty final. Near the conclusion of this revelation, humility becomes your shield. Pride opens cracks for old shadows to return. You conquered by surrender, not domination. Keep kneeling inwardly even as you stand outwardly strong. Heaven honors the bowed heart. Serve without spotlight. Give without glory. Teach without title. The meek still inherit the earth because humility sustains power safely. When light rests in humble vessels, it does not corrupt, it multiplies. That is how divine rebellion remains pure beyond forgotten thrones. The final alignment comes quietly. You will feel it in your breathing, a warmth in your core, a knowing that the mission completed its cycle. Peace will replace striving. You will not need to announce victory. Reality itself will echo it. You will look around and realize the government you fought no longer rules, at least not over your consciousness. Dependency dissolved into sovereignty. The rebellion finished without blood, yet with glory, as heaven's will manifested naturally through awakened sons and daughters combined. Before we conclude, if this message has awakened something in you, write, "I rise," as a declaration that you are already walking in victory. And if you seek to deepen your abundance, download The Call to Prosperity. It's a 10-step journey to unlock your divine wealth, not just spiritually, but also in your finances and purpose. You'll find the link in the description and in the first pinned comment. You can check it later, or click now if your spirit already knows this message is for you. To everyone who supports through Buy Me a Coffee, thank you so much. Your energy fuels the continuous divine creation towards collective enlightenment. The kingdom has come quietly through awakened hearts. Governments fall, glory rises. The prophecy stands fulfilled tonight. You are proof heaven never abandoned earth. Walk as light, rule as servant, and love as sovereign. This is your divine commission sealed in faith and flame. Nothing more remains but obedience and joy. The rebellion has become revelation, and revelation has birthed renewal. So it is. It is done.